Sean, Diddy, Combs impregnated victim, young Miami encouraged abortion, lawsuit alleges. J. Stahl. USA Today. Combs has been accused of impregnating and drugging an unnamed alleged victim in a new lawsuit. As the embattled media mogul's legal challenges continue to mount, a lawsuit filed Friday in New York State Supreme Court by a Jane Doe includes allegations of sexual assault and abuse that took place over a 4-year span from the fall of 2020 until the present year. It also states that the alleged abuse took place until July, 4 months after Homeland Security investigations agents raided Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes in March and 2 months before his arrest on charges of racketeering, trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. The lawsuit includes startling allegations, including claims that Combs forced the unnamed woman to vaginal intercourse without her consent, drugging her and impregnating her. The lawsuit alleges that Combs and his staff recorded their sexual encounters without consent and caused her to be afraid for her safety as well as anxiety and depression. The lawsuit also alleges that Combs continued to contact the alleged victim in order to control her actions and autonomy. In a statement provided to USA Today on Friday, the Jane Doe's attorneys from New York-based law firm Napoli Shkolnik called out Combs and said, "No one is above the law." Powerful figures in the entertainment industry have long exploited aspiring artists and fans. Recent high-profile lawsuits aim to hold these celebrities accountable, potentially transforming industry practices and providing justice for victims, attorney Marie Napoli said in the statement. Fame and wealth do not protect Sean, Diddy, Combs from serious allegations of sex trafficking and abuse. Diddy is fighting for his life amid sex crimes charges. What does this mean for him? Jane Doe first met Diddy in fall 2020 overseas after he invited her on a trip, the lawsuit alleges. After visiting him in spring 2022 in Miami, the lawsuit says she woke up and her feet were purple and bruised with a bite mark on her heel, stating she was unaware of how she got the injuries. The lawsuit also states that the Jane Doe was compelled to ingest an unknown substance before she learned that it was or contained the drug ketamine and/or other substances, which caused her to black out and lose consciousness intermittently. Later, she took a pregnancy test, which was positive. The lawsuit alleges that the City Girls rapper Young Miami, whose legal name is Caresha Brownlee and is the apparent ex-girlfriend of Combs, harassed Jane Doe, repeatedly calling her and telling her to have an abortion. The Jane Doe later had a miscarriage and claimed she did not speak to Combs or members of his camp for 3 months. USA Today has reached out to Brownlee's representative for comment. Then, in late 2022, as the lawsuit alleges, Combs began communicating with the Jane Doe again and began compelling her to travel with him. He would harass her through text messages, calls and third parties until she agreed, according to court filings. During her visits to Combs, the lawsuit states he made the alleged victim perform a show for him, giving her alcohol and other substances until she ultimately passed out. Then, she would wake up with no recollection of what occurred or how she had injuries. The alleged behavior continued until July of this year. During an instance in July, the lawsuit states Jane Doe tried drinking water which tasted strange and made her feel unwell. The next morning, she felt ill and confused and could not remember what happened the night before and the bedroom was in a disarray. The lawsuit alleges that during a 4-year span, Combs consistently pressured her into the bedroom, adding other men and women despite her saying she did not want others involved. He made threatening jokes, and the alleged victim feared for her safety if she failed to comply with his demands, the lawsuit says, noting she was also forced to witness him slap and abuse other women. The lawsuit also alleges Combs tracked her location and monitored her conversations. He would refer to statements made by her when Combs was not present. He discouraged the alleged victim from working, the lawsuit states, and when she would try to be financially independent, Combs would pay her an allowance as a form of control. She complied with his behavior, the lawsuit claims, out of fear of what he would do if she said no. The alleged victim is seeking an unspecified amount of damages from Combs. Diddy denied bail twice since arrest on sex crimes charges. This lawsuit is one in a long list of legal troubles for the Hollywood heavyweight producer. Combs is currently in federal custody after 2 judges denied his legal team's argument for his release on a $50 million bond. According to the 14-page indictment filed in federal court on September 12 and unsealed last week on September 17, federal investigators say Combs turned his multifaceted business empire into a criminal enterprise in which he and his associates engaged in kidnapping, arson and physical violence, trafficking and forced labor, among other crimes. Sean Diddy Combs has been accused of impregnating and drugging an unnamed alleged victim in a new lawsuit. As the embattled media mogul's legal challenges continue to mount, a lawsuit filed Friday in New York State Supreme Court by a Jane Doe includes allegations of sexual assault and abuse that took place over a 4-year span from the fall of 2020 until the present year. It also states that the alleged abuse took place until July, 4 months after Homeland Security investigations agents raided Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes in March and 2 months before his arrest on charges of racketeering, sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.